Hey, and welcome back. I am super happy that you joined us here for the challenge today, and I really hope that you did the exercises yesterday, because they will be super powerful and super helpful for today's challenge, today's mission. So yesterday we went through bank statements, right? So we looked a bit in the past. We looked at our incomes and our expenses. We also brainstormed on how we can cut the costs, but generally we looked back, right? And today will be slightly different. We will use the information from yesterday, but we will look a bit ahead. We'll look into the future. So that's going to be super powerful. And what we'll be doing today is we will be creating a balance sheet for your budget. Now, I know that for some people, balance sheet many people can have a connotation of a balance sheet to business and something really, really boring. But I'll show you that balance sheet doesn't have to be boring and doesn't have to be complicated. All right. So all we're gonna need is a sheet of paper and a pen. That's all we need. All right. And it's gonna take us 5 to 10 minutes to do the exercise. So stay with us because even though it sounds like an overkill for a home budget, balance sheet is actually super powerful because it forces you not only to look back, but also plan a bit on what's coming and how to increase your expenses, how to increase your incomes, how you decrease your expenses through assets and liabilities. And that's something we'll be talking about today. So if you can grab pen and paper, and it's going to be super useful, and as I said, it's going to be super easy, and that's something you will be probably doing like 5 to 10 minutes. You can do it with me if you want, but grab a pen and paper. That's going to be needed. All right. So once you have a piece of paper, I hope you have it. Take your piece of paper and divide it in 4 parts, right? So in the top corner, you will have incomes. In the top right corner, you'll have expenses. And this should go really fast because that's something you did yesterday, right? So just look at your bank statements from yesterday, and all you need to do is basically need to list all your incomes, like I know salary maybe you have an extra job or extra gigs, and put numbers, right? So how much do you have on average in salary per month? How much on average you have in extra gigs? And sum it up. That will be super easy. That's probably you don't have many incomes or income sources. I mean, hopefully you have a lot, but typically people don't have many. And then go for your expenses. And yesterday we mentioned that it's good to categorize your expenses. So if you can sum it up and say, and put everything in there. So you can have, for instance, category food. How much do you spend on average on food? How much do you spend on clothes, car, and so on? List all of them here and then sum it up. So this will give you a good overview. Like yesterday we looked at bank statements, so we sort of looked at what we already received. But here we're going to look at the real picture on average per month. That's something you can hang over your desk if you want. But the power of balance sheet comes actually from this bottom part of the balance sheet, and that's assets and liabilities. What are assets and what are liabilities? I don't know if you had the chance to go through our free course that we have at Momentum here in Academy. We have a free course, Success Freedom Mindset, where we talk exactly what assets are. We give examples of assets and liabilities. But just for the purpose of this exercise, assets are all the things that bring money to your pocket every month. That's a very simple thing. So whatever assets you have, they should bring you money or generate cash flow, and so that's something that adds up to your incomes, right? What can it be? Well, it can be, for instance, real estate. It can be real estate. It can be an extra house that you own. It can be, and you rent out. Can be like stocks, right? So stocks, for instance, that you own and that generates dividends every month. In general, you don't have to care much about how much it is. We'd rather focus on what is that. Okay, it can vary between months, but in general, we would like to see the list of it. I think that's crucial for now. Then, if it comes to liabilities, we also would like to list them. And what are liabilities? Liabilities are all the things that pull money out from our pocket every month. So that's our sort of standard expenses we have. That's something that we are obliged to pay, like our loans, for instance, like a home or a house, or maybe not. Maybe let's call it mortgage, right? Can be mortgage on our home. Can be a student loan, or whatever it is. So list all of those liabilities, list all of those things that drain your wallet every month. Why we do that, and why is it so interesting here? Because if you look at your incomes and expenses, there's only a certain level of where you can get with increase your incomes, and a certain level where you can go down with your liabilities in a sort of the short-term view. But assets and liabilities really change the game, because all the assets you have increase your incomes massively, and also all the liabilities drain your pocket heavily. So if we can add more assets and decrease amount of liabilities, that can really affect our wallet. That's gonna change our budget completely. That's why we would like to emphasize that it's so important to increase the number of assets we have and decrease the number of liabilities. And that's something we'll be talking about tomorrow. So that's really the point of the whole exercise, is to just see what we have in assets, what we have in the liabilities, and tomorrow we'll be looking at what can we do to increase our assets and decrease our liabilities. So that's the exercise. And if you look at all of this is exactly a balance sheet. So this is not as scary as it sounds. This is something very visible, very sort of, you have everything in one view, in one picture. And I like to have it. I actually do it every year. I create this kind of balance sheet, very simple form of it. We don't have to go really, scientific about it. It's just list of incomes, list of expenses, list of assets, list of liabilities. That's it. Obviously, we can go one level down to it, and we can really go deep into each section, and we can list everything, then sum it up. So do the proper Excel sheet, and that's something that Daniel will be doing with you, by the way. So if you really want to go one level down, watch Daniel's video and follow his exercise, because he's really going deeper into this. For now, if you really want to take it short and you're not really a big fan of Excel sheets and you don't have the patience to sort of do things sort of in a scientific way or maybe more geeky way, then this will absolutely work for you. So spend some time, list your incomes, your expenses, your assets, liabilities in that form. And I think you'll be ready for tomorrow's exercises. If you really want to sort of enhance that view, go and do the Daniel's exercise. He will give you a very good, very deep analysis of your home finance and of your balance sheet. So that's all for me in this exercise. Good luck, and see you soon.